Councilmember Miguel Villalpando,
Present.
Councilmember Juan Castillo, Councilmember Martha Gonzalez,
Present.
Councilmember Lorena Delgadillo.
Present.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Gonna move on, call to the public. Anybody from the public wishing to address council? There's no one. We have one proclamation of Bike Month 2024.
Whereas bicycles are an economical, healthy, convenient, and environmental sound form of transportation and an excellent tool for recreation and enjoyment of Somerton's scenic beauty. And whereas throughout the month of May, the residents of Somerton and its visitors will experience the joys of bicycling through educational programs, races, commuting events, charity events, or by simply getting out and going for a ride. And whereas Somerton's roads, trail systems, and multi-use pathways attract bicyclists each year, providing economic, health, transportation, tourism, and scenic benefits. And whereas creating a bicycling friendly community has been shown to improve citizens' health, well-being, and quality of life, growing the economy of Somerton, attracting tourism dollars, improving traffic safety, supporting student learning outcomes, and reducing pollution, congestion, and wear and tear of our streets and roads. And whereas Yuma Region Bicycle Coalition, Yuma Visitors Bureau, DBA Visit Yuma, Yuma Metropolitan Planning Organization, the League of American Bicyclists, schools, parks and recreation departments, police departments, public health districts, hospitals, companies, and civic groups believe in the benefit of bicycling. And whereas these groups are also promoting bicycle tourism year-round to attract more visitors, to enjoy our local restaurants, hotels, retail establishments, cultural and scenic attractions. And whereas these groups are also promoting greater public awareness of bicycle operation and safety education in an effort to reduce collisions, injuries, and fatalities, and improve health and safety for everyone on the road. And now, therefore, I, Gerardo Anaya, Mayor of the City of Somerton, proclaim May 2024 as Bike Month in Somerton and urge all residents to join me in this special observance.
Want to welcome members of the Yuma Region Bicycle Coalition and invite them to come up front so we can take a picture and give you the proclamation.
Great. You know, that's fine. Appreciate
it. Mr. Mayor, members of the council, I can tell you, I ride your roads quite frequently.
Excuse me,
And
I'm
have
sorry.
lunch in your city quite frequently. And it's really evident to anyone who's been.
If you can please state your name
Oh,
and
I'm
address,
sorry.
please.
Jeff Brand, President, Yuma Region Bicycle Coalition. My apologies.
Thank you.
The progress that Somerton has made in terms of becoming a bicycle-friendly community are really easy to see and really appreciated. And, you know, we hope that that will continue and the city will become more and more bicycle-friendly. And if there's anything whatsoever that the coalition can do to assist, please call on us. We're always anxious to help. And thank you.
Gonna move on to consent agenda. There's one item, check register for the month of April 2024. Does any member of council want to remove the item from consent agenda? Is there a motion?
So, second, Mayor.
So motion by Councilwoman Delgadillo, second by Councilman Roldán. Those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We have a public hearing regarding the intent to establish or increase municipal fees. Any assessment to the current fee schedule for various city departments. There are motion to open public hearing.
So moved, Mayor.
So motion by Vice Mayor Galindo, second by Councilman Roldán. Those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and City Council. This is our annual review of the citywide fee schedule. This is the public hearing that will conduce to the resolution and new business. So at this time, I would like to present to you the list of proposed fees by all of the city departments. Before that, there's a legal notice that we have posted. Is a requirement by the Arizona Revised Statute to post 60 days prior to this public hearing, which we did. It has been posted and published in our website since March 8th. That is the city's intention to increase municipal fees. And after that, we have the list of proposed fees. What we're going to do, we're gonna go by department. The column to your right is the recommendation. Any blank line means that we are not proposing any changes. The changes are only where there is written information. So as we move down the list, I'm going to invite the department directors to explain the justifications for these increases or the changes in the proposal. The first one is the city clerk, the fee schedule. Most of the fees are being proposed to stay. There's only change in the public record request. Andrea?
For the public records request, the only change, besides eliminating the CD and hard copy of the complete agenda as they can be obtained from our city website, we added a footnote that addresses the hours employees take to complete a public records request after 1 hour. And it was recommended for $14.80 per hour after 1 hour of the necessary time to complete this request. And that was for commercial and non-commercial requests. The fees continue the same. We don't charge for digital copies. But for any hard copies, the fees remain the same. We are just gonna add that $14.80 per hour after the first hour for completing the request, since sometimes it's just different people working on this request, different departments, depending on what's being requested.
All right, council, any questions for city clerk?
This request per hour, was it what other cities are doing, or how did we come up with that rate?
The rate was, I'm not sure, I can't remember, it was an average or it was just the lowest rate for a clerk or clerical.
No, the 1480 is the 1480 is entry-level hourly rate for a administrative specialist. So just anywhere, that's just pretty much most of the people that are handling the public records requests. Entry-level admin specialist, obviously, we're not gonna charge salary of the city manager or some other manager. It's what a admin specialist would make entry-level here at the city.
But are other cities going this way as far as charging for public records requests? Because before it was 50 cents per page, and now $14 an hour. So, or is it something, a formula that we came up as the city of Somerton to charge per hour?
I know our neighboring municipalities do have this format as well. It's just, yeah, we were just trying to make it consistent and I mean, yeah, I mean, we when we revise this annually, this is what we want to do, like improve.
But it will be charged after, not the first hour,
After the
basically, right?
first hour.
Okay.
Mhm.
Mayor, if I may?
Yes.
Again, this is just a recommendation. At the end of the day, mayor and council will give us direction on to approve or not to approve. Like I said, this is just something that we see other municipalities because of the time. But again, that's up to mayor and council.
And I
they
want to
want-
remind council that the public hearing is, we can only ask questions. We have it, an item in the agenda, that's where we can give direction of
Right.
what we feel about this fee. So in this portion, only questions. Members of the public are also welcome to ask any questions. This is the reason for the public hearing. But we, as council, we can't be discussing any direction or any of our opinions until the regular agenda item, so.
That is correct, Mayor, and we have a resolution on new item.
Okay.
Any additional questions? We can move on to the Community Development Department. Their fee schedule, first page pretty much remains the same. Under building safety fees, the Community Development Department is proposing to change the ICC building valuation table from the most recent, which we have been using the 2021, move it to August 2023. The other change that they're proposing is also change of use permit, certificate of occupancy update. This is a new fee actually, going to $50 base fee plus required remodel and alteration fees. The other one, the next change that is being proposed is the solar photovoltaic system permit fee. The installation that is rated at above 110 kilowatts, I'm sorry, from $150 to $300. And these are all the changes, and we have Saul Albor here in case that you have any questions in regards community development fees.
Any questions?
Just on the installation, Mayor.
Mayor, if I may?
Councilman Roldan, and then you, Councilman
Okay, thank you.
Saul, can you explain a little bit on the installation rated above the 10 kilowatts? It's double the amounts, which is,
Councilmember Roldan, that fee actually, we're correcting a typo from the previous update. It should have been higher because it is a larger system. They're more complex, there's a bigger checklist to go through. And unfortunately, we haven't been able to charge it because this is what we adopted. So we're just cleaning that up this time around.
thank you.
Councilman Villalpando?
Thank you, Mayor. I just had a question in regards to the valuation table. I see that you guys listed the 2021 and 2023. Is there a price difference between 21 and 2023? And if so, what's the difference?
Councilman Villalpando, the difference, what this line item refers to is how we determine the cost of buildings, because when a permit comes in for construction, we use the square footage multiplier in the ICC building valuation table, and that's how we determine the job cost, and that's what determines the permit cost. When we
Yes,
when council adopted this back in 2000 and when the last time this table was revisited in the fee schedule update, the way it was worded was as most recent or August 2021. The most recent table is the February 2024. They're
Yes,
about to
I'm
publish. Sorry. go.
I'm fully aware how it works. I would, probably didn't explain my question properly. But I wanted to know, for example, something that was $1,000 on the 2021 table, how much is it gonna cost in 2023?
If the, okay, I understand, for the actual permit cost itself. Councilman Villalpando, on $1,000 permit, using the 2021, you'd probably be looking at a August 23 permit cost of, on a permit that small, there would be no change. It's really when you get up to the larger amounts, such as a new single-family home, for example, you might see a cost increase of $100 to $200 in the permit.
Okay, and does that, and I assume you guys use the same table if somebody wants to add like a patio in their backyard type.
Correct, yes.
Okay, so what would be the difference?
Most patio permits are under $1,000, and the permit out the door cost is under $1,000. So there would be, it would be very, very small difference. If anything, maybe $20 or so.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
Thank you.
Okay, Mayor and Council, we can move forward to the next department. These are all the changes being proposed by Community Development. The next one is the Finance Department. We have 3 changes being proposed: utility deposit for new accounts. The current fee is 150, the recommendation is 200. Non-sufficient funds, excuse me, return payment charge. We have a current $30 and the recommendation is 36. And the hard copies per page, email PDF copies per page up to 10 pages. We are recommending 10 cents. We have Finance Director here, if you have any questions.
Questions or comments? No, no question.
No question. Thank you, sure.
I just stand up.
The next one is Fire Department. The schedule, there are some changes that are being recommended. Chief Hernandez.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. The recommendation that we're making is just where the hourly rate of their fire inspector and then the wear and tear of the vehicle and the gasoline that we spend, and that's how we came up with the increase on the recommendations. One of the biggest changes you'll see is on the fire alarm. There was a typo also where before it was 132 and we're recommending 103. On the fire alarm from 26 to 50 devices, before it was 132 and now we're doing 104. And once again, I believe that was a typo. For the first one was 33 and then it was an additional hour, 66. And then what they did, they just doubled the 66. What we are recommending would be the 38, 2 hours would be 71, and then 3 hours would be the 104. That's the only change there that we did. Other than that, can we go up? No, the for billing from the bottom. For billing records, we're recommending $20. And that's mostly for insurance companies or lawyers, law firms. They call us that they want the reports of people that were involved in vehicle accidents. And normally right now the standard is a lot of the officers are charging. And for years, we didn't have any fees. And I did some research from other neighboring departments. And then once again, the hourly of their billing specialist plus paper and the use of the computer, that's how we came with the $20. So any further questions or anything? Yes,
Just a quick
Councilwoman.
clarification. Is it for both, for billing medical records and medical records, the 20 increase, or just for the medical records?
Just
It
for the
only
medical
has-
records.
Okay.
So there's no fee for billing medical.
There, that's, no, it's just for medical records.
Because
So-
you mentioned billing, that's why I wanted to.
Well, medical records, it's the billing. So like if we send a bill, we don't, there's no fee for that to get the bill. But let's say somebody calls in requiring a medical bill, usually there's the PCR, which is a pre-hospital care report attached to it. So that's what we're talking about.
So maybe the line item should only be billing medical records instead of 2 items.
I think that's just, medical records is just like the title. And then we can just delete the other and just leave it as medical
Well, it
records.
doesn't have
Because
any-
it's confusing as I see it.
Okay, so I think that can be done on our end.
Any additional questions?
It's just a question.
Questions or comments?
Thank you. We can move on to Parks and Recreation. Their fee schedule, the first page is not proposing any changes. Second page, under field rental fees, it is being proposed to add Perry County Park soccer field to the list of rental facilities. Once it's finished with the remodel and it's ready to be rented. And the next proposal is the Somerton Heritage Pool rental fees. That's the one that is being proposed, and there are some changes based on the packet size, and we have James here.
Sorry. So for the next 2 or 3 years, I'm gonna go through each of our programs and kind of with the goal of trying to get to 75% like payback from our fees and stuff, just because right now we're sitting at like 50 to 55% for a lot of things. So our pool right now, it's costing us in the $60,000 to run for the season, and we're recouping about $30,000 of that back. So we're trying to raise fees little by little the next 3 years to kind of get to that 75% mark, if not higher, because right now we're kind of all over the place with our fees, and it's not really set correctly for what we're providing the community.
Are you gonna go over the changes or?
Sorry. So like when it comes to residents, for instance, at the top of the pool stuff. So with the pool, it comes from lifeguards and things like that. So anyone that's coming out down right there. So class A, we're going up minimum $11. That's covering the cost, because this hasn't been changed in a couple years. So that's cost of the lifeguard, like the minimum wage increase, items like that. Rental, just utilities that we're using, and lights, all that. We're trying to add to it just to come up with it. Like I said, we're trying to recover that extra $35,000 to $36,000 that's coming out of our pockets. Residents B, C, and so on. We're just kind of raising it like the same amount, the same kind of proposal of like $11 to $1, whatever we feel will help gap that bridge. We feel like also that when they're out of residence, they should probably pay a little bit more as they have been. And we shouldn't just, so right now it's just a flat fee that we're raising everything. But as we investigate more and more into it, we'll figure out what that price break needs to be for resident versus non-resident versus group.
Any questions?
Any questions, comments? Members of the public?
The next one is the municipal court. These are not so much of increases, but this is a clarification according to Judge Toro, who is not present here. And this is pursuant to the Arizona revised statute. This is a requirement. Those are fees that are set by the state. And basically what we're clarifying is that $17 is per case on each of the fees. The certified documents is $28 per document plus $17 fee of research in locating the document. These are fees that are already set by the Arizona revised statute, and they're just followed by our municipal court. Any questions on this?
No, I don't.
Go ahead.
The next one is Police Department. Chief Juarez has some changes being proposed here, and I'm just gonna let her explain those changes.
Mayor and Council, good evening. Araceli Juarez, Chief of Police. For the top line item, we're looking at an increase or requesting an increase of 50 cents per page after the $5 fee for a police report. Statute allows us, with the exception of not charging victims, that we can charge everyone else that's requesting a police record. The increase in fee for record clearance letter is $5. That'll include the special letterhead that is requested, the press-on stamp, and the notary that is being required from the people that are coming in to make these requests. In the past, no one was requesting for a notarized document. Now they're requesting additional services. For the next one, there's an increase per statute, ARS 39-129, law enforcement video recording fees. The statute reads that the city may establish a one-time fee per copy not to exceed $46 per video. That'll include the reviewing, the transmission, making a copy of, and necessary redactions of video recordings. In comparison to other agencies are actually hiring a full-time person to review some of the video footage from the officer's camera to redact and be able to provide a copy. We're asking, making a recommendation, I'm sorry, that we continue with the established or adopted $20 fee for the audio 911 recordings and for the video recordings, and to include the cost per statute to add the $14.80 per admin specialist. That would bring the total to $34.80 for those two items. The next item would be the fingerprints. We did a little bit of research to the local other agencies. The Yuma Police Department does not charge, but they don't provide the person that's coming into their facility a card. They also have to do it by appointment, so we're way more flexible than Yuma Police, San Luis PD, and the Sheriff's Office. San Luis PD does charge an $8 fee for each fingerprint, but they don't provide a card, and they only do it by appointment. The County Sheriff's Office charges $3. They don't provide a card, and they only do it by appointment. And the last one is, I had missed this one in the previous fees establishments or requests before council. The conference room is a large room that has a capacity of about 53 or 63 people that can use it. And then we have that's the training room, and the conference room has a capacity about 8 to 10 people. We've had a lot of nonprofits use this room in the past, and we've never requested a fee to maintain the room, for carpeting, for use of the chairs, for wear and tear of the table. In this last year, we were able to install 2 additional televisions to provide training for minimal staff and large training for staff, additional TVs in the training room as well. So we're proposing that we have a fee of $50 for anyone that's requesting to use this room and won't be having any food. And those nonprofits include organizations like Chicanos por la Causa, First Thing First, Campesinos, and the Domestic Task Force. And the nonprofits that have came to us to request the use of this room is going to be the PALs. They provide a driver license service to the community where they assist them in getting their driver license. Those are the recommendations that we have at this time.
Questions or comments? Thank you.
Thank you.
The last one is Public Works, and they're not recommending any changes at this time. Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council, that concludes the presentation of the public hearing. If you have any additional questions or any questions from the public.
Any questions? Is there a motion to close public hearing?
So moved, Mayor.
Second by Vice Mayor Galindo, second by Councilman Roldan. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Mayor.
Gonna move on to old business, discussion and possible action to approve second reading by title only of ordinance 2024-002.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council. This is ordinance number 2024-002. At the previous council meeting, council approved the first reading by title only of this ordinance, which approves the rezoning of assessor's parcel number 211-04-005, which is a 7.5 acre parcel on the west side of the city from C2 with infill incentive overlay to R3 with infill incentive overlay. The second reading of the ordinance is required to finalize this rezoning, and the rezoning would be effective 30 days following the second reading of the ordinance. So tonight, staff is asking that council approve second reading by title only of ordinance number 2024-002.
Any questions or comments? Vice Mayor, do you have a question?
I was asking, yes, the front portion of the parcel, is that gonna be rezoned too, or is we're gonna keep it as commercial? Everything is gonna be rezoned, isn't it?
Yes, this is the 7 acre parcel directly north of Somerton 1898. So we're just talking about that parcel in particular.
This part, yeah.
Could you show the exhibit, Andre?
Yeah, I see it here, but is that Main Street?
I'm sorry, I was confusing it. This is the parcel north of Yepco Industrial Park. On Main Street, yes.
It's on Main Street, yeah. Okay, because I was thinking, I was thinking that we were gonna leave the front area for commercial, but we're not, isn't it?
This would be all rezoned to multifamily, Vice Mayor.
Any other questions or comments? Is there a motion to approve second reading by title only of ordinance number 2024-002?
Make a motion to approve the second reading by title only of ordinance number 2024-002.
So motion by Councilwoman Castillo,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Delgadillo. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Mayor, we also require now a motion to approve the ordinance in its
Okay.
entirety.
Does he read the title first
Oh,
or?
yes, sorry. Go ahead.
Saul, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor.
That's why
Mayor,
everybody's
council.
here.
Mayor and Council, this is ordinance number 2024-002. An ordinance of the City of Somerton amending ordinance number 2015-002 and rezoning certain areas in the city for real property described as APN 211-04-005. A 7.58 acre parcel more or less from C2 with infill incentive overlay to R3 with infill incentive overlay. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council.
Is there a motion to approve ordinance number 2024-002?
Make a motion to approve ordinance number 2024-002.
So motion by Councilman Castillo, second by Councilwoman Delgadillo. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Mayor, Council.
Gonna move on to new business, discussion and possible action to approve resolution number 2024-011.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council, this is the resolution pertaining to the public hearing that we just held. If this is the time for discussion, directive, making changes to the proposals that we just presented. and also asking any questions that you may have.
Any questions?
Mayor, I had one question.
Go ahead, Councilman Villalpando.
And this is in regards to the fees that we charge for the community center. I know it's ongoing and the director said that they're gonna be analyzing it a little bit closer. But I want them to also take into consideration that now that community center has air conditioning, which it's actually increased our costs when we rent those locations out. So just keep in mind that they need to analyze the cost of that.
I have actually included that in my report of information that I want to gather of the cost per hour with just using it in general, air conditioning, not in air conditioning, and try to average that out over how many times it gets rented over the year. That way we kind of come up with a good number.
Well, the units themselves will tell you the kilowatt hours that it takes to run, and you just multiply that times what the going rate is of the kilowatt hour times however many hours they're using it. So it shouldn't be that much of a difficult process.
Any other questions or comments?
Just, I just want to thank staff for working to this. You know, I know it's, sometimes we don't want to raise the fees, but at least, you know, we can, you know, even on that. Thank you, James, for taking a look into Parks and Rec and, you know, and all the departments. You know, we don't have to raise it, we don't have to, but I know you guys will do the best you can so we can give us the recommendations. So thank you for that.
This is an annual opportunity for council to review what we are charging and to ensure that there is proper justification for every single fee that we charge.
I have a question, Mayor.
You will come back.
Councilwoman Gonzalez?
For the finance director, that was $50 increase for the connection fee from 150 to 200.
So we took in consideration, I'm sorry, Shauna Medell, Finance Director. We took into consideration that the fees hadn't been raised in a couple of years. And then we looked at the other municipalities to compare our rate, and the going rate is 200 for the connection. Yes.
Any other questions, comments? I don't know, did we add the water tower to the Centennial Park? That's something that I don't think we had a fee for.
Can you go to parks, please?
Well, we can double check, Mayor. But I believe last year we did add Centennial Park with some restriction. Well, just pull it up just to confirm.
Okay, it's there.
Yeah,
there's a fee.
yeah. And that was one of the things that, you know, because of the restroom and things like that, we looked at a lower fee,
Okay.
but it's there.
Mayor would like to make a motion to approve resolution 2024-0011, I'm sorry.
Motion by Councilman Roldan,
Second.
Approve the resolution 2024-011, starting July of 2024.
so motion by Councilman Roldan, second by Councilman Villalpando, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Discussion and possible action to approve the renewal of MOU between Campesinos Sin Fronteras and for use of Somerton Cultural Center.
the change. Are optional to be trained in our two drive program, participation in Parks and Rec Department of drive, use empowerment network would be on the last Tuesday of each month. Used in a student format 10 times, first 2 times from with other financial accountability we provide them would be annual work that we provide for, and we get that certificate of insurance. So this item is for you. It's $10,000 for 5 years. So that's there for the program will be run June 3rd, 2024, July 1st, 2024, Monday through Friday. Program will provide you tools and skills to achieve social and professional health. The city's obligation, as I stated, would be to provide a place to hold the summer program. None of our staff would be involved in the day-to-day program. It would be part of the I'd be part of the monthly coalition, which I can share upcoming programs with them, and they can provide guidance and partnership with that. And get involved in our program. Also, for our staff to be trained, their certification process, and they would provide us with as a co-insurer, staff recommendations through this memorandum with the changes made.
The item says renewal, so we used to have a MOU with them, and this is just, was it the same language there, or almost the same language that we had with them? And
So, Mayor, the last time we had this in front of the board was March 22nd, 2022. And at that time, we were providing them with the same service without.
Mayor, if I may.
yes, Councilman Villalpando.
Oh, I can't hear anything. I guess the microphone is not picking up on
Sorry.
the Parks
There
and
we
Rec
go.
director. Okay. There we go.
So, and this, yeah, I'll restate that. March 22nd or March 15th, 2022 was the last time this was approved, or went before council. And at that meeting, the city agreed to partnership with them without taking any they weren't paying any financials to us. We were just giving them the space and providing them their opportunity to do their programs. It was a different program at that time. Now they're going to Thrive. It's one of their many programs. At that time, the only request was the insurance request, making sure that was covered with legal. If we get this insurance request, we'd run it through our legal side of it, everything, and make sure it's up to date.
Mayor, if I may.
Yes.
I read the MOU, and again, I just want to share my concerns and have them for the record. One, I think the city and staff need to work on roles and responsibilities. I don't feel that that someone that's requesting an MOU provide direction and guidance on what our roles and responsibilities are going to be. So just an FYI for staff, next time you bring an MOU, make sure that it's hashed out prior to them applying or them seeking a grant. Because quite honestly, I do have a problem with an outside agency telling us on what our roles and responsibilities are in a MOU that they're seeking. Now, as far as the program, program is a great program. I've been fortunate in the past to work a similar type of program, so I'm supportive of the program itself. But again, we should dictate what the MOU is gonna look like, not necessarily them telling us what we're gonna do and what employees or if anybody we're gonna be sending to any type of meetings or anything like that. So, but I do have one question. They are allocating $10,000 to the city. Are there any restrictions on those $10,000?
Councilman, I asked that question today on the phone and she said, no, there's no like oversight. As long as we're kind of spending it towards our programs for youth is the big thing. Even if it isn't for youth, they really can't say anything. It's basically our $10,000 for the space.
Okay, James, have they have they given you a procedure on how to do the drawdowns, or is it going to be a one lump sum check? What reporting are they going to require?
At this point in time, I do not have that answer for you. I do know that they're waiting to see if the MOU is passed and then that conversation be happening because I have to also meet with them about the insurance and making sure we're co-insured with them and that passes through legal before we even get to the part of where they pay us.
See, at least for me, I don't think the money is really a big issue. We could do without it. You guys have to use your judgment when you do get those details, whether it's worth the processing the documentation yourselves or they process it, however it is. It cannot be time consuming for staff, especially if we could do it without the funding. I rather just us charge for the location as per the fee schedule, and the rest they can do whatever they like. I mean, I work in the nonprofit sector, and I know how drawdowns sometimes become a little bit tedious with paperwork, and I don't wish that upon you guys, especially since all we hear from staff is how shorthanded they are, and I hate to add one more thing to your plate.
Any other questions, comments?
I have something, Mayor.
Yes. tell me.
James, just for my clarification purposes, you said you went back this morning to Campesinos and kind of added verbiage that wasn't included on the original, right?
Correct.
Okay, so you were able to view it and provide that input and they were able to change it from the original?
Yes. So when I called them, I went through about 3 different people and I finally talked to the director and we went through and we agreed on the verbiage. I got that back. I shared it with the city attorney and the city manager, and we kind of agreed that we would present it, the change to you guys. So yeah, we worked that all today and it was from the original document.
So this is the most updated, not the one that's on.
Correct. That is the one that we are. That's why the recommendation is with to approve with changes.
And that was my question, if the city attorney had a chance to review it, so they get that.
You did?
Yes, there's email conversations that we had this afternoon. The original MOU as presented, staff and legal reviewed it and it was okay. We continued to negotiate until this afternoon, and we just hope that the new version also it's not provides such a big burden to the city as what was originally presented.
So have these conversations, were they being, did it just appear, or did the previous Parks and Rec director also had conversations regarding this MOU?
To be honest with you, this was sent to me about 2 weeks into my tenure as a Parks and Rec director. So there was some conversation before me that it kind of concluded with me. I had to catch back up and kind of go back to it and try to get this approved because of the deadlines when they wanted to start their camp. And I kind of worked with them for a while.
Okay. Any other questions or comments?
I have a question, Mayor.
Councilwoman Gonzalez?
On the revised portion of it where it says the first bullet point says optional team outreach certification. Second bullet point says participation from a Parks and Recs Department representative. Is that mandatory? Is that the one that you say you're gonna attend?
The first one is optional. The second one is mandatory. It works in my schedule. I'm actually looking forward to it because I'll get to meet with administrators and school staff, and that will help us put our programs out there so we can use this kind of advertisement to kind of draw some youth into our programs and kind of build them with local kids, which is one of my big goals here, is to provide more opportunities and more communication with the youth here.
And just an insight on that. I used to attend these Thrive meetings monthly. I mean, they're really short, 45 minutes, but it does provide you that opportunity to network countywide and find out what else is available.
Other questions or comments?
Right now, Leo, when you made a comment that you hope that the memo of understanding is followed as stated, it should be, right? We're not in hopes. What's on here is what must be followed. Is that correct?
That is correct. I'm sorry, I misworded.
Okay. So that optional portion, which was revised from the original, we are not going to implement, or we're not going to, your staff mandate or inform them that they have to go to this and be certified or whatever.
Councilwoman, right now, no, we're not going to do that. Like I said, this memo is for 5 years. If we see that it might help us in creating a better department or provide the training that's going to help us in the future be a better, stronger department, we may. But right now, no, that's not our plan this year.
Because it's not part of their job description. So I just want to make sure that we understand that it's not.
I 100% understand that.
And also, why a 5-year? Why not 3 or 2-year?
That's a good question, but I'm assuming, and I'm going to say assume, I do not know that this is their typical agreement with all the schools and everyone around us. I will ask that question as a follow-up to them.
Mayor, if I may, we have Ms. Laura Torres on the line, and she may be able to answer that if you allow.
Yes, go ahead, Ms. Torres.
Good evening. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I just want to first of all thank you for allowing us to be on the agenda and to entertain this motion. Yeah, happy to answer any questions that you may have. As Mr. Jones already stated, we have had previous MOUs with you all in the past. We've been in the community, as you all know, and this is our first opportunity to be able to provide any type of financial benefit to the community as a nonprofit. Like council member was mentioning, we are pretty scarce in our resources, but because this is a federal grant, the grant has been granted to us for 5 years. And of course, it's contingent upon us, meeting our own requirements. So it could be a year-to-year grant. However, we do hope that it is extended through the 5 years. So our opportunity to provide the 10,000 would be annually. So we would do the 10,000 this year, and then we would renew again. And that is in a form of a check. And so once you all get that check, it's discretionary funds and able to be used by the city how you see fit. We did let Mr. Jones know that our recommendation is that it be used in youth programming, because that's what our goal encompasses, is providing those resources and services to youth. But really, I mean, it's allocated how you all see necessary. And if there's any other questions, I'm happy to answer those.
Mayor, if I may?
Yes, Councilman Villalpando.
Yes, I just wanted to know if there would be like a year-end report that we could possibly take a look at in order to gauge the success of the program itself.
Yes, we definitely always provide that year-end report at our very last meeting, those mandatory meetings that you guys mentioned as a part of the MOU. We always take the moment to celebrate all of the successes and also evaluate what we can improve on. And as stakeholders, you all have a say in that. And, if Mr. Jones is the one designated to attend those meetings, then he would give that input and get to, have the written report. And, it could also be reviewed by council at any moment. But all of our information is always public. And, again, happy to provide anything that we can to, just continue this partnership. But also, we, as far as the requirement that we would require from the city isn't a financial report from the entire city of Somerton. It's only for the funds used that we sent. So again, we're not restricting how it's used. We just want to know how it's being used because that informs our programming as well. If it's being used and directed towards youth programs and we see that they're being utilized in that way and it's a successful, program, then we would continue to recommend that you all use it in that way. But again, it's discretionary funds and used however you see fit.
But wait a minute. Is it discretionary funds or the funders are asking you to be the spending to be associated with youth activities? Those you're giving me two contradicting answers.
It's discretionary funds, sir. It's only my recommendation that it be used, but it's not. Our funders, as subcontractors with this MOU agreement, you all get to use it however you see fit. You can take my recommendation and use it or not. Again, it's totally up to you. I just, based off of what we've done with other municipalities, that's what other areas and cities have done. They've used it towards membership fees for their sports, for art programs. And so usually if a family is in need and isn't able to get their children registered for sports, that's what that's used for. So that's just a recommendation. As a subcontractor, you all decide how you spend it.
What about the drawdowns? Is it a one lump sum or constant reporting of each time we use the funding?
No, sir. It's once a year that we would anticipate seeing that report. And we would provide a $10,000 check once a year. And this year, because of the delay in the MOU, we would be getting it to you at the end of this fiscal year. However, we would be issuing a new check at the beginning of the new fiscal year.
Any other questions or comments?
Just, if I may. Laura, this is Councilman Roldan. Just, I guess, thank you for thinking of City of Somerton and working together with our Parks and Rec director into this. I think those monies will use our programs and will help our youth. So thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I didn't see it as contradictory. I think it was very clear that it was discretionary since the beginning. Yeah, you mentioned it was a recommendation, and I would like for it to be used as for the youth.
Make a motion, then. Okay. Mayor would like to make the motion to approve this MOU and use the monies to our youth programs here in our city of Somerton.
There's a motion by Councilman Roldan. Second by Councilman Castillo. Those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Discussion of possible action to approve MOU with Yuma County for pool facilities.
Mayor and council, this agenda item before you is with MOU with Yuma County to create a seasonal pass for their employees to use Heritage Pool for the summer of 2024 for $45. This pass could be used for all City of Somerton planned activities at the pool and cannot be used for pool rentals or other private events. This does not increase the cost of the pool to the city, but creates a partnership with Yuma County and their employees who wish to use the pool facility. Staff recommendation is to approve the memorandum of understanding between the City of Somerton and Yuma County.
Any questions or comments?
I have a question, and maybe
Councilwoman?
I'm not understanding it correctly, or I'm confused. How much is our fee to go into the pool?
So right now, I believe it's $1.
Or $2?
Yeah, and adults too.
So I don't get this.
So when you look at it, we open the pool for a total of about 90 days. So this would be half of that they can go every other day. This also, like, if they want to sign up for swimming lessons, that's $24 for their kids. It's just a flat out rate. Yeah, it's a season pass. And this is, like I said, in the fee schedule, this is something that we're looking to do with other municipalities, and also looking next summer, we may do this with our community if if it works out and it is feasible.
Mayor, if I may?
Yes.
And just to let mayor and council know that, there used to be a seasonal pass. It used to be $20, I think. Of course, it's increased because of all the expenses that I have. But like Mr. Jones mentioned, you know, it's 45. We kind of looked at other municipalities. Like he mentioned, the dates available. So we're hoping that that will go back. One of the reasons we went ahead with the MOU is because Mr. Jones wasn't here when the first fees were posted. And so we didn't have for some reason, that fee wasn't in there. So we will add it next year. And so if we do this, we won't need this MOU. Actually, you know, and the county is looking for, they're reaching out to their local resident employees that work for the county that live in Somerton to provide this opportunity. So we're supporting, you know, we're working with the county, and we're also supporting our local residents.
Any other questions or comments? I feel like you mentioned it can be expanded to other services if we, you know. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion, Mayor, to approve this MOU.
So motion by Councilman Roldan,
Second.
second by Councilman Castillo. Those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of amendment to an IGA between Yuma County and City of Somerton for roadway and traffic signal maintenance. The amount $150,000.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Charles Gutierrez, Public Works Director. Tonight, we're here to ask for a request to approve amendment number 1 for intergovernmental agreement between the City of Somerton, Arizona, a municipal corporation in the state of Arizona, and the County of Yuma, a political body pursuant to ARS 11-951 through 11-954 for road maintenance. The previous IGA was entered into agreement in October 19th, 2016, as being requested to enter into amendment number 1 with Yuma County to aid in work performed in collaboration with the city. The city, in collaboration with Yuma County, re-explored the maintenance agreement that existed previously and decided that this is a reasonable maintenance agreement with Yuma County for the roadways and traffic signal maintenance or correction intersection. The changes of the amendment number 1 are as follows. Section 2 of the aforementioned agreement shall be replaced with the following. The county shall provide roadway and traffic signal maintenance at various locations within the jurisdiction of the city. Section 4, aforementioned agreement shall be replaced with the following. The city shall pay to the county the reasonable actual cost for the work performed on the city roadways and traffic signals. Costs may not exceed $100,000 per fiscal year for roadway maintenance and may not exceed $50,000 per fiscal year for traffic signal maintenance. The county shall invoice the city quarterly for the city's share of the actual reasonable cost of the project for the work performed during the previous quarter. The city shall pay the county for the city shall pay the county for the city's portion of the work within 30 days of the invoice by the county. Upon completion of the project, the county shall complete the total actual project cost of the project. Any payments due or credit shall be reconciled within 60 days. As a result, under guidance from Yuma County Public Works, they will provide a list of additional parts that the City of Somerton will procure and be stored at the Yuma County facility as backup parts for traffic signal cabinets and signal heads. This will be added to the FY25 and reconsidered every year in the construction improvement program henceforth. Tonight's recommendation is to approve the agreement, the amendment to the intergovernmental agreement between Yuma County and the City of Somerton for roadway and traffic signal maintenance services in the amount not to exceed $150,000.
Questions or comments? Is there a motion?
So moved, Mayor.
So motion by Vice Mayor Galindo,
Second, Mayor.
second by Councilman Roldan. Those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Charles.
Summary of current events.
Good evening, Mayor. First we'll have Chief Juarez.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Araceli Juarez, Chief of Police. For the longest time, the Somerton Police Department didn't have a color guard that was composed of police officers. We were able to get that done this year. The officers did their first initial presentation at the Officer Memorial this past weekend. We wanted to do something a little bit different, less traditional than what we've had in the past. So we moved over to a little bit more of a Western style for our color guard. You'll be able to see some of those photos on Facebook. And we work closely with Mr. Lerma's shop here in Somerton, so we could get some of that gear for the officers. We did get a lot of positive feedback, Mayor. The other color guards recognized that it was something different, something very Somerton-like, very South County-like. So it was very liked. And the other thing I have is we just have a grant that was approved for us for $207,000. With that grant, we'll be able to buy handgun holsters. I'm gonna mention just a couple of things that we'll be able to buy with that. Handgun optics, weapon lights, body armor, trike mobility vehicles. These are, I don't know how to describe them. They're real nice bicycles that we'll be able to move around for the special events. We'll be able to assign one to the high school SRO, so he's able to move a little bit faster through the campus. So I believe there's 2 or 3 of them that we'll be able to purchase. And I believe they also include the training of the trikes. We'll be able to purchase a couple Connex boxes that'll help us store some of the targets at the range instead of the officers traveling with the range in trucks every time we go shoot. We'll be able to store a lot of the stuff up at the 8-hour range, and then it will help us maximize and our ability to hold evidence that we are per statute to hold for some of them up to 99 years. We'll be able to buy a taser suit, cell phones, and ballistic shields. That's all I have. Thank you.
Next, we have Charles Gutierrez, Public Works.
Mayor and Council, Charles Gutierrez, Public Works Director. In the Streets Division, the pavement preservation program is being finished up with the striping. You'll notice that they have striped. We will be leaving off from Garvin south to County 17th. At this time, we are working with a local engineering firm to get the striping redone to include a bike lane on that side of it. In the Water Division, Somerton Heights Phase 2, the water line replacement program is running very smoothly. There's no major hiccups. We had a planned water outage for the lines to be flushed and sanitized. The Water Division is working on lead inventory citywide for the AZD EQ 120 water program, which is a mandate by the state. We are doing the inventory in-house to save considerable amount of money. In wastewater, we are working with PACE Engineering to resolve a logic control issue on the SCADA system. This week is Public Works Week. We will be having the Public Works Week and Building Safety Month exhibition event out here in front of City Hall from 1 to 7 p.m. Tomorrow. Also on Thursday, May 23rd, you all are invited for lunch at the Cultural Center at 11 o'clock. Please, if you can make it, great. We are having tri-tip and rice and beans at 11 o'clock. And we will announce the Public Works Employee of the Year. Thank you.
Mayor, I also just want to mention that tomorrow from 1 to 7 to try to get more of the community involved. So we're doing it a little bit later. We're hoping we come out and hopefully you'll have an opportunity to come out and talk to our public works and different departments. And also we'll be unveiling the winner of the coloring or art contest, which will be showcased on our trucks for a couple of months. We had, I think, hundreds of entries. And so we're really looking forward to that, and hopefully the community comes out, learns more about what Public Works does in the community and get more information on that. So So, yeah. That's all we have now.
Councilman Villalpando. Villalpando. Councilwoman Gonzalez. Councilman Castillo.
Nothing, Mayor.
Councilwoman Delgadillo.
Yeah, Mayor, just wanna thank all the directors for putting your little 5 cents here in the city, either applying for a grant or finding ways to better your department, in our city. Thank you very much. Just things like James did today, just use that as promoting our programs, it's not gonna cost us anything. So thank you for thinking ways of helping your department at the same time helping, the city. So thank you for that and please continue with it. Thank you.
Vice Mayor.
Nothing, Mayor.
Was able to attend a Dia de las Madres celebration at the senior center. So thanks staff. It was a great time. They didn't make me dance, so that was a victory. Mire you, Rolando. Vice Mayor. And also, want to thank staff for organizing the mayor and council evening with the public. It was well organized, and hopefully for next year we get more people. But I think it was a good start. It was good conversations. And well, last week we were supposed to have a GYDC meeting. It was didn't have a quorum. I think it's the second time we haven't had it. So, and that's it. We have 3 executive session items. One is concerning negotiations for purchase, sale, or lease of property identified as 429 East Cano Street. The other one is concerning contract negotiations for the purchase of sale, lease, or extension on real property located at 110 North State Avenue. And the other one is regarding performance agreement with Tronic Sound LLC for Somerton Greater Days Festival. Is there a motion to adjourn into executive session? It's a motion by Councilwoman Delgadillo.
Second, Mayor.
Second by Councilman Roldan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Meeting is adjourned.